pretty my screen is. September Success Club points. Carlos and Tracy, if you guys, I feel bad that your names are not up here. So if you message me before the call, I'll be more than happy to add your names to the Success Club earners. September Success Club points. We have Krista so far with 8, Sonia with 6, Heather with 5, Ashley with 5, Anna with 5. And then we have people on the board, Laura, Kaylee, Jennifer, Kristen, Julia, Moraine, Shelly, and Lisa. I am definitely going for that top prize. And I don't know about you guys. Anybody close? Anybody on here? These are, yeah, I think I got everybody. So congratulations to Krista. She's not on here. Congratulations, guys. You did such a good job in Success Club for September already. I was listening to Coach Melanie Mitro, and her goal is to hit Success Club 5 by the 10th of every month. So I kind of got to thinking, well, what does she do to hit Success Club 5 by the 10th of every single month? That means the beginning of her whole entire month, the first week and a half, is basically all inviting and talking to people and building relationships and following up. So I'm going to start personally doing that myself. I'm going to dedicate the first week and a half to really go hard with the inviting to the challenge groups and talking to people, and try to hit Success Club 5 before the 10th. So after that, it kind of frees up your schedule a little bit more, that you can start doing other things. So I love that idea, and I'm going to start doing that. So just a suggestion for you guys. Announcements. The Inside Shakeology, what is the difference? The Shakeology now has an official podcast channel created for Beachbody coaches. You're going to want to check that out. I'm sure you guys all heard of it. If you haven't, I went to this YouTube playlist, and I was able to pull it up on there. And it's just real easy to do. You can save it as one of your favorites and always get it. I am not seeing the rest of my screen.
Yeah, Amy, can I stop you?
Yeah,
we can't see your slide. We still see the beginning slide. You got to hit present at the top.
I did.
Because I'm still seeing the Team Destiny Live Fit Live Free team call slide.
Really? Oh, okay. I'm going to stop the screen share.
If you have dual monitors, you need to
let's see if this works.
Selected.
Can you see it now or no?
Yeah, we can see slide number 3.
Well, I'm glad you can, because I can't. Well, if you guys can see it, that's awesome. That's the main point, is that you guys see it. Ah! Shoot. Okay, well, read it to me. What else do I have on there? I have the Shakeology podcast. And what's the last announcement?
Summit workshop videos.
Yes. Okay. This is super cool. All the Summit videos from Coach Summit is now available for us. So if you were not able to attend the Coach Summit, you can go on to YouTube and you can pull up all the videos, and you can actually select to save them all to watch at a later time. That way, whenever you're bored and have free time, because I know we have a ton of free time, you can just pull up YouTube and go to your saved videos to watch later, and you have all of them right there at your fingertips. So I did that. I went to YouTube. I clicked on the button to make sure that I saved all of the videos so I can watch them later. That's it for the announcements. You guys know what the challenge packs are. I hope you guys all got onto the national wake-up call today. If not, write that down to do. That is basically all the announcements I have for you guys. Kaylee, I'm going to exit this screen share. It's making me nervous. I don't like it. You can take her away.
Yay! Well, we are so excited to have a coach share with us her successful tips. This coach is a super rock star. She's only been a coach for 6 months, and she is this close to diamond, and I know we'll be there within a matter of weeks. She is married. She's a mom of 3 toddlers, all under the age of 3. 1 set of twins in there, too. She is a physician's assistant, a lactation consultant, works in a gynecologist's office, barely gets any sleep at night, hosts challenge groups that are just exploding with challengers. She has earned Success Starters. So that was hitting Success Club her first 3 months as a coach. So she earned a free ticket to Summit next year, as well as attended Summit with us this year, only being a coach for 2 or 3 months at the time. She has not only earned Success Club every single month since becoming a coach, she has earned Success Club 10 at least since becoming a coach. Last month alone, she hit Success Club 24. Can you believe that? Woo! And she led an awesome team cup. I don't even know what her points were. They just blew. They were the top leading team in Team Destiny. I know that. So I want to introduce to you Rainie Werner. Woo!
Thank you. I feel like I should come out to the Rocky theme or something after that. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. So I'm going to talk a little bit about challenge groups, and I wanted to cover just basics and touch on what I do. It's just going to give you some suggestions maybe that you could adopt yourself. So I don't know if we can get the slides up here. Awesome, thanks. Okay, so this is Challenge Groups 101, or how to host a kick-ass group. And by me, I'm an Emerald coach, but hopefully soon be Diamond. And I hope you enjoy it. So, Kaylee, do you have control of the slides then? Going to the next one? Great, thanks. So in this little talk, I'm going to cover how to invite, ideas on general organization of your group. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit about getting to know your clients and their personality types. Also, really importantly, how to engage your participants. So particularly with theme days, post topics, and friendly competition. Also, I want to give you some examples of the posts that I use. And overall, once your group ends, how do you wrap up the group? So you can go to the next slide. So how to invite to your challenge group. So a couple ways you can invite. You could create an event invite via Facebook or a group email. You could create a social media post, like a general post on Facebook announcing that you're having a challenge group. But I feel that what's been effective for me is to personally invite. It takes more time, but honestly, I feel that it just works a lot better. So I highlighted in red the 2 that are most effective for me. So that's either in person or over the phone is, for me, much more effective than just private messaging or emailing someone. However, you can private message or email someone and still have good success. Ideally, though, you want to pick up the phone and call the person if you can. So going on to how to follow up with those, if you find people that are interested, you want to make sure you find out a little bit more about them and discuss their why or their goals. You can offer suggestions for them once you learn more about, what their goals are, such as, they want to lose 15 pounds and say they're already in decent shape and they want to challenge. You may recommend more advanced fitness program for them. If they, have with Shakeology, if they're more of a chocolate person or more of a fruit flavor person. So you want to try to make suggestions for them based on their preferences. You also, what I do in the beginning too, is I address any limitations or objections they may have. I just nip it in the butt right away. So if they're talking about, I don't know if I have enough time, I don't know if I can get the workout in with working or whatever the case may be, or if they have physical limitations with different healthcare issues, I just try to touch on that a little bit as well. What has worked really well for me, though, after I get to know them a little bit and put a personal touch and just see where they're at, what I do is I ask them for their email address and just to give them and frequently asked questions about challenge groups. This has saved me a ton of time, and it's been really effective. Rather than going back and forth via message for who knows how long, you can give them all the frequently asked questions right off the bat. It saves time and helps avoid some confusion that they may have. And it may, they may not even, they may have some questions down the line that that could be answered by this email. So that saves me a ton of time, because I can't, honestly, with working full time, I can't be going back and forth via message with potential participants all the time. So, sorry. So that's worked well for me. Once you find you're willing.
I'm going to stop you.
Sure.
Rainie, can I stop you right there?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
The frequently asked questions, is that an email that you personally created?
Yes, I created it myself, and I just covered all the questions that you get just right off the bat, like what is a challenge group? How long is it? What do I have to do? What's involved? How do I pick a workout program for me? And I included a link to the Beachbody, like the comparison chart for the fitness programs. I addressed that. I addressed what is Shakeology,
Okay.
Things like that, like just the common questions that you get, so that you're not constantly, copying and pasting or constantly, like, reinventing the wheel. So it's all there for them. They can read it in their own time.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I am absolutely loving that, because I'm thinking, how does this girl do this?
Yeah.
And that I can see would be a huge time saver for you.
Oh, absolutely. And I definitely make sure that I put a personal touch on it. I find out what their goals are. And what I do is I have the email saved. I put at the top of the email, though, I make sure that I address, like, their personal goals or their why, or make a little suggestions, or just make sure that it's personalized for them. A few sentences, paragraph at the top. Then I copy and paste my FAQs, and then I, make sure to include, instructions on how to follow up, like, follow up with me in the next few days, or we'll touch base then when I see you at work, or, just so they know, you just got to make sure you follow up with them. And that lets them do it in their own time, and I'm not constantly answering messages, because I had a lot of problems in the beginning going back and forth with people with questions, but sometimes I'm working 12-hour shifts and I can't get back to them right away. So that's really helped me out a lot.
Can you post that in the bio tab of the group? Can you put that in Team Destiny for us so we can all see?
Sure, I can do that. No problem.
That'd be awesome.
And then you can personalize it, so if you see
another reason.
Sure. What's that?
Another reason I love that idea. I really love that idea because of the email address. Like, sometimes you're talking to people and they never sign up for a free account, but if you get their email address, at least you have their email address. You can plug it into the Coach app. Even if they don't fill out the thing and decide to, sign up for the free account, you still have their email. So you can still be sending them stuff and touching base with them. And that's genius. I love it. Okay, go ahead.
Yep. So after you send the email, they respond back, they're interested. And just so you know, I have probably about, before with messaging, I maybe had about, I don't know, I want to say 20% that actually followed through and said that they're interested, maybe even a little less. Since I've created this email, I think it's probably about 50% are signing, are definitely like, yes, I wanna do it for sure. I'm not quite sure why, but it's just been working out really well for me. So going on to then when someone wants to sign up for a challenge group, I always ask them right off the bat. I ask them either, like, is there someone that wants to join them? Do they have, their husband or a friend or a significant other that wants to join them? And what I've been doing actually is splitting my groups into two. So those who come with a partner, they're in the couples group. Those who do not are in my individual group. So it doesn't hurt to ask. The worst they're going to say is, no, sorry, I don't know anybody, and you put them in their individual group. At least it gets the ball rolling, and they know, that you appreciate referrals, and maybe it plants the seed down the road that they'll start thinking about, you know what, I did think of someone, my friends, so-and-so wants to join the group. So maybe even if they don't know someone right away, they might start thinking of someone for down the line to join your next group. So that's worked really well for me. I usually run one couples group and one individual group. You can go ahead to the next slide. Is there anything else in the bottom? I can't see anything else. So I covered everything. Okay, so here's examples of some of the posts that I've done just on Facebook. So the first one, the top left, that's my daughter Haley. I just try to think of something a little creative and just to catch people's interest, and at the very least it's a cute picture of my kid and people like it. So it makes people realize that you can choose different fitness programs, and I was running a team challenge or the couples challenge. The one in the middle worked out pretty well. That's like a classic challenge group announcement. And then the one in the top right, that's my Madeline, who's very cranky at the time. And I just wanted to do something a little silly and kind of catch interest. And what I do is I try to switch up posts. Sometimes I do more serious posts. Sometimes I do, more funny or sarcastic posts. So you're appealing to different people and just catching interest. So as far as basics for the group, so how many participants do you think you need to run a group? Well, that's totally up to you, but I prefer to have 8 to 16 people in the group. Once it gets more than 16, I just think it gets a little busy. I would rather split that into 2 groups of 8 than have, any more than 16. So my group lasts 28 days. Of course, you can have your challenge group be any length of time that you want, but my group lasts 28 days. Week 1 is prep and practice week. In that week, I do an introduction to clean eating and just proper nutrition and exercise in general. We go over how to meal plan. I give examples of my meal plans and also several examples from Pinterest or things that I've collected over time. Also, we share examples of meals and recipes. I make sure to do a separate post of that and just flood the post with all the pictures I have, and especially for the 21-day fix, you can give examples of the colors of the different meals. I also go over the basics with the group as far as the requirements, the rules, general housekeeping. I have points for participation, so that's a big post on like how to earn points. Also, I make sure to build excitement, so I just post different motivational like videos or things to get people pumped up. I encourage participants to post pictures of their challenge pack when it arrives, or anything, just took a picture of themselves. We can do introductions, and I do 2 to 3 practice days. I try to keep them simple, so that's usually on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before we start the actual competition that Monday. So I'll do just a basic motivational post and say, okay, post your sweaty selfie and your food diary, because that's what I require for my groups, is that they're posting daily food diaries and sweaty selfies. So we practice. Meanwhile, they're meal planning and they're getting used to that, and I'm answering questions. So after week 1, then weeks 2 through 4, that's my 21-day competition. That matches up with the 21-day fix. And I find that that's a good amount of time for my groups. So that's when I'm doing the daily posts about, the fitness or inspirational, posts, which we're going to talk about here. So before we get into that, though, I want to talk about the personality types. I'm sure you've seen this before. I know Heather posted it in Team Eclipse. I think it's really good to kind of get a feel of what your clients, like what their personality is. So just to briefly go over it, the emeralds are the people that, they're the analyzers. They're the people that like to plan. They like data. They like facts. They like to schedule everything. They like everything in black and white numbers. They're very detail oriented. The pearls, they're the bleeding hearts. They're the ones that love to help people, that are very humble, understanding. They tend to be more introverted. Ruby personalities, they're the take charge, go-getters, dream big. They work hard. They like to be a leader. And they have strong opinions, and they can tend to offend people if they don't watch things. The sapphires are the party girls. They're the ones that are just, happy-go-lucky. They like fun. They like to joke around and very welcoming to others. So I think it's good to get an idea. I like the GEM personality types. This is Danny Johnson has a book where she goes over these types. And I think it's good to kind of have an idea of where each participant lies so that you can tailor how you approach them. So for different post topics, other than exercise and nutrition topics, I have, general motivational or inspirational posts. I also, just being a PA, I like to post about things about general health, about, diabetes or hypertension or obesity. That's kind of more my niche. I like to create posts about general health. Also, I like to post transformation stories for posts sometimes. That tends to appeal to people. Personal development, I think, is important as well. And I always post in my group something about the coaching opportunity. Usually that's in the third week, because I make sure to let them know that that's available, not only as an active coach, but also as a discount coach. Also throughout, I'm posting about Beachbody products and services. So I kind of plug that in as I go. So if I did a workout and I used Beachbody On Demand, I make sure I mention that. If I used Energize or E&E, I make sure to mention that when I post. Also, I like to, in addition to, posting about Beachbody products, I like to add some funny stuff in there. I like to make sure that I try to keep it fun for everyone, a little lighthearted. And I usually add in little plugs of jokes and things, just in addition to my daily posts, just for fun. Also, I switched my posts from things that are more serious, like with facts and figures and data, to more like posts that are more general imagery, like more of the motivational, inspirational posts. So I try to switch it up between the two just to keep it interesting. For my theme days, I don't always do this, but sometimes I do motivational Mondays where I post like something inspirational, like the start of the week, and here's a Monday, and I post inspirational quotes. Tuesdays, sometimes I do tasty Tuesdays, so something food or nutrition related. My Wednesdays are always wacky Wednesdays. I got that from Kaylee. So that's my fun dare challenge days. Thursdays are usually thirsty Thursdays for me, so I'm posting either about Shakeology or about water intake and hydration. Sometimes I throw in a Throwback Thursday, and that's always gone over really well. So for Throwback Thursday, what I do, and generally I put that in the third week, I say, and I'll show an example actually soon, so we'll go over that shortly, but that tends to go over really well. Fun Fact Friday or Foodie Friday, I post something about food, or what I've done before for Fridays is share a recipe, and I might give bonus points for that. Or this is a random tip, but for extra points, I've encouraged participants to post a recipe on my group page. So I have a group page called LV Fit Family, and I gave my challenge group extra points for posting a recipe on that page. So then if you give them tasks to do to post on your like page or on your group page, you're keeping that group active and keeping, I don't know, I just think that that's something fun to do, so you're not always the one always posting in that group. And for Saturday, I try to do Saturdays where we share a non-scale victory. Sundays, usually I post about being like a rest day or reflection, or I post something related to meal prep. Here's just some examples of just some little funny pictures, posts that I plug in. And usually, again, this is not my main post I'm doing for the day, but I'm plugging in little things here, usually at the end of the day, just to make people laugh. Because especially after they do like the leg workout for the first time, like I make sure to plug the after leg day, photos. And for the two tickets for the gun show in the bottom left there from Anchorman, I mean, I just think it's nice to add just some humor here and there, and people appreciate that. Here's an example of one of my posts. So this is a post that's more data driven, and this is a health oriented post. This is a post that I created. It's about obesity and how there's a study that came out that even if a participant lose only 5 to 10% of their body weight, they're still significantly decreasing the likelihood of diabetes, of hypertension, of hyperlipidemia or high cholesterol, and they're increasing their good cholesterol. So even just a modest weight reduction, so if someone weighs 200 pounds, if they lose 10 pounds during a challenge group, sometimes they can get discouraged with that, but they're actually really improving their health by doing that. So I just wanted to create a post related to that, so that people that aren't losing much maybe are getting discouraged, and they know that that it's actually really helping with disease prevention. So you're welcome to use this if you'd like. So this is just an example of a post. Going back to the personalities, your emeralds would really like this because it's very more data specific, and that's something that I think would appeal to them. And that I would include a photo like this with that post. So here's an example of what I do for Wacky Wednesday. So I got this idea from Kaylee. We spelled out our program, I think, in food when I did her challenge group, but I switched it up a little bit, and I wanted the participants to choose a word that they like an adjective that they want to obtain or describes them, or that they want to strive for. So here's some of the examples of what I got. They had to spell it out with food. This was a Wacky Wednesday challenge. So I just think it's kind of fun. Another one I've done similar to this is they wrote out a word on a piece of paper and held it up and took a picture or a selfie, and then explained why. The most important thing is they explain why it's significant to them. So why are you committed? Why do you want to be committed? Why do you want to stay active? Like, just to sort of dig a little deeper and not just, post a word. So that's a Wacky Wednesday example. Here's an example of the Throwback Thursday post, and that's me on the right on my honeymoon. So I encourage people to choose a picture in their past life. So it could be a fat picture or a skinny picture. It could be when they're in the best shape of their life or the worst shape of their life. And I wanted them to comment on what their diet and exercise habits were like and how they felt at the time. This really appeals more to like your Pearl personalities, maybe the introverts. They tend to really pipe up more when you sort of dig deeper and get into just get into things a little bit more. They tend to open up about themselves more if you really ask about it. And this is one of the more popular posts that I do, is if you do a Throwback Thursday, it goes over well. And I award bonus points sometimes if they do it, because they're looking up pictures from the past, and that takes some time. And not everybody keeps track of points for their challenge groups, but I find it's really effective. This works really well for your personality types that are your rubies. They're the ones that are super competitive, and they're going to get their points in, and it just drives them to do well. So even not for just the rubies, but everyone seems to like competition, and everybody likes getting free prizes. I mean, come on, everybody likes free stuff. So and this is modeled off of Kaylee's post, so thanks, Kaylee. But basically, I award points for your daily sweaty selfie, your daily food diary, your weekly meal plans. So that's 3 different meal plans during the challenge. Also, I throw in random bonus challenges just to switch it up and keep it interesting. Also, before photos and measurements, after photos and measurements, and I award points for referrals. I think that's very important as well, and that drives people to actually reach out to others and keep your challenge groups going in the next round. For prizes, I think there's a policy Beachbody has that your prize shouldn't be more than $25. So just an FYI. When you award prizes, I give a prize to the overall winner. You might want to consider, though, like if you create accountability partners or have a couples challenge, I mean, obviously you're going to give a prize to the team, not just to one person. Also, you may want to consider doing random drawings or weekly winners. I plan to do a winner for, I asked the participants to do a yoga pose, and the person in public, and the person who got the most votes on their picture would win a little prize, like, little things like that just like anybody could win. It doesn't mean, maybe the participant's been inactive, but they could still win something like that. It keeps people motivated, and just an idea. So just some random tips. Here's a potpourri of just different thoughts that I had just for challenge groups. So overall with challenge groups, it's good if you provide a variety of posts. So some should be short and sweet, and some should be long and detailed. You should also vary your post topics throughout. So you don't just want to post all about exercise or post all about diet. You want to really switch it up and keep it interesting, because keep in mind you're appealing to all different types of personality types. I think it's important that coaches be professional yet approachable. You don't want to be a super boot camp sergeant and then no one, everyone's afraid to reach out to you. You want to be strict, but you want to be understanding at the same time. So that goes along the same lines. I before E, except after C. I'm a grammar Nazi. So I really like to really edit my posts and just make sure that everything, I have a document saved with my posts, and I read over them every time I post them again, even though I'm duplicating it. And I catch things all the time. So just a thought, just make sure that everything, you look a lot more professional if you're spelling things right and that. So as far as engaging the group, I'd make sure I ask something from the group with each post. So ask a question. Don't just post something, post a statistic, or post like, you should drink more water. You want to ask a question like, how much water did you drink today? Or take a picture of your water. Like, ask them to do something with each post. You shouldn't just keep it one-sided. You want to encourage open communication. So also, I encourage you to interact with your challenge groups at least twice a day, hopefully more, but I would say at least once in the morning and once at night, and just make it personal. So I like to call people out, actually. You got to be careful who you do that to, because your introverts won't like that. Your pearls might not like it. But if I haven't seen somebody in a while, I'll tag them to the post and be like, hey, Kelly, what are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Get your sweaty selfie in. So I call people out. Or if you're not, you think they wouldn't that wouldn't go over well, reach out to them with a message if you haven't seen them in a while. You need to be a product of the product. You need to be, there's nothing worse than a coach who's dictating things to do and they're not doing the workouts themselves and they're not eating clean themselves. So you need to set a good example for others. I think it's a good idea to pair up with like-minded individuals. So whether that's your upline coach, I know everybody here in Team Destiny, the upline coaches are more than willing to let their downline coaches in their challenge groups to help them. You may want to just get together with coaches in the area. Kristen Blennis and Jen Ebert and I have worked well together, and we've entered each other's challenge groups just to kind of increase participation. So even if you're not co-hosting the group with them and creating posts, sometimes it's good just to have an extra person in there, just posting sweaty selfies or, interacting with the group. You may want, I strongly consider everyone to consider doing couples groups or assigning accountability partners. I think pairing people up together, they get better results. And not to mention that going back to the couples group, I mean, you're getting two people, not just one. It doesn't hurt to ask. I ask everybody. And maybe about 25% of them find somebody else to join them. But then you're getting two and not just one person. So you encourage participants to post about the challenge group on their Facebook page. I do this all the time, and it not only it blows up my Facebook page, I'm not posting all the time. People are posting for me, and I don't I don't really even like beg them or anything. I just kind of say, hey, you'll get 10 bonus points if you post your flex photo on Facebook and tag me to it. And people love that. People love to do that. And again, it's competition's probably driving them. The free stuff's probably really driving them, but it helps me out. And I like to just note that I think honesty is the best policy. Make sure you remind people when their Shakeology orders are due, if they want to change it. You want to avoid unhappy customers, because if you miss that, it's going to leave a bad taste in their mouth, regardless of how awesome your challenge group is. If you miss that and people didn't want to continue your Shakeology, it just sort of leaves a bad taste in their mouth. And then I can't see the last one. Oh, consider preparing your posts in advance and using Hootsuite. Hootsuite's excellent. Does anybody else use Hootsuite? I use Hootsuite. Kaylee does. Hootsuite's awesome. So if you're not using it, you should use it. It really helps out, especially if you're busy working. So check into it if you haven't already. So once your group's over, now what do? You want to make sure your participants know about the Beachbody Challenge. So make sure they're entering in their stats and going through the process for that, because they're going to get a free T-shirt or a product out of it. I think the size program, they get socks out of it, something like that. Make sure to recognize everyone individually for a job well done. I reach out to everyone either by phone, in person, or by message, just to make sure, just to follow up with everyone individually. Also, you want to recognize the overall winner of the challenge. And also, I recognize those who put extra effort in, like the runners-up, that maybe that were really good at posting but didn't quite, win the overall challenge. I ask for feedback from everyone. This is really important for me because it helps me grow and change my groups and improve my groups. So I ask everyone, what did you enjoy most about the group? What about the group could you do without? And do you have any suggestions to improve future groups? And what ideas do you have? So recently I had someone suggest that she would like to see more recipes and more meal ideas. And so the next group, I made sure to post more recipes and more meal ideas. It was very simple, but it was something that I didn't realize that I wasn't posting a lot of. So it was a very simple change to make. So I ask everyone if they're up for another round. If the answer is yes, they have two choices. One, they keep things the same. So they have the same flavor Shakeology, they use the same program. Two, they can change their Shakeology flavor, they can change their workout program, or they can add a supplement. So this may not necessarily be a challenge pack sale, but you want to make sure that everyone's happy with what they've chosen. They may add one of the supplements. This would be a good time to mention the Shakeology Boost or the Performance line, and just make sure they're okay with their Shakeology ship date and their flavor. If someone says no, I can't quite see the bottom of this, but basically you want to make sure you still follow up with them. Just because they said no doesn't mean that, okay, I'm not going to follow up with them, they're just on their own. I try to make sure to follow up with them at least a week after and then monthly after that. You should really probably be following up with them more than that, because just you don't want them just to go off on their own and then fail. They're still our clients, regardless of whether they're in the challenge group or not. So I think that's it. Sorry, I went over on time a little bit.
That was a lot of good information. That was amazing. That was a great job. I mean, I really liked how you get on the phone with them right away, because it is a lot of back and forth. But if you just get on the phone with them, you settle that, what program works for them right then and there, and you get that program ordered for them. It's no hassle, just getting that relationship built on a phone conversation. Do you just call them, or do you use the BB scripts and kind of go off of that, or what do you do? You just
I just kind of do my own thing. I find out more about them, what their goals are, what their preferences are, what they're doing already, where their baseline is. Are they working out now? What are they eating now? I ask them, give me an example of what you eat in a day. Tell me what you ate yesterday. And that gives you a real good example of people that say, oh, my diet's good. But then they tell you, well, I had X, Y, and Z and fast food, and then it's really not. So it's all perception. So, I just kind of just talk to them a little bit and just, I don't know. I just sort of shoot the shit, to tell you the truth.
Awesome. Well, I also liked how you asked for referrals right off the bat. And that I can see that really works for you because that's how you get so many Success Club points. You have a lot of people giving you referrals right away instead of asking for them. I mean, you asked for them all throughout the challenge, but instead of waiting towards the end of the challenge, I tend to wait and then ask them later, and that doesn't work very good. So I like that. Extra points I love how you give them extra points for posting in your Fit Family group. I mean, that's awesome. I've always struggled to get people to post in there, so giving them extra points, I love that. That's a great idea.
I've given them extra points for going to Fit Club too, FYI, for anyone who runs Fit Club. That's also bonus points. If you're local, you earn bonus points for going to Fit Club. If you're not local, your other option is to create a post, be a coach for the day and create a post. So that was another option.
Awesome. How do you track your points for your challenge groups?
I do it the same way you did on the Google Sheets, I think it is. And then I keep updating it and provide a link to the group so that they can see it. I keep track of it myself. I may have participants, once it gets busier, keep track of their own points, but I keep track of their points for them.
Oh, wow. So every day, at the end of the day, you go through all the posts and update that.
Not every day, probably every few days.
Okay.
I just sit down and go through it quick.
Awesome. And then how do you ask for that feedback? Is that in a like a WooFoo form, or is that just a post that you do?
It's just a post, and I found it better. I mean, everybody's kind of driven by points. That's another bonus post, like near the end of the challenge. I'll say for bonus alert, for 10 bonus points, I want you to fill out this survey and answer the following questions. So I award points for that sometimes because they're taking their time to give an answer. Sometimes they give me the survey on their own, but I found it's more effective if you actually award points to it.
Awesome. Well, I know I took pages of notes, Rainie. Thank you so much for putting all that together for us and sharing all your secrets and your tips. I really look forward to reading that frequently asked questions that you email out to your clients. And if you could just post that in the Team Destiny group, that would be awesome for all of us to just read. And hopefully all you guys out there took some great notes, took some points. Feel free to stop by Rainie's page, send her a message, share with her the things that you really took away from this phone call. I know she's a busy mom and a busy coach. So just encouraging her and sharing with her what you guys learned, I know that would be awesome and encouraging for her and all of her hard work. So thanks again, Rainie.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for having me.